Engines come and go, but V8 engines are a different breed. Some are so trustworthy that they will outlast the cars they power. In today's video, we'll take a look at 15 V8 engines that never die. Oh, and if you're wondering how we're so sure about this, we've gathered testimonies from real-life users. Sit back and enjoy. The Audi 4.2-liter FSI V8 engine was first introduced in the early 2000s and boasts features like direct fuel injection, an aluminum block, and dual overhead camshafts. This engine delivers between 340 and 450 horsepower and was fitted under the bonnet of cars such as the Audi S4, RS4, and A8, demonstrating its versatility in both luxury and performance contexts. With a red line of 7,000 RPM, it provides comfortable power delivery and a rewarding driving experience. Owners frequently report their Audi V8 engines exceeding 180,000 miles with good care, proving just how robust they are. Whether you're driving fast or cruising on the highway, the Audi 4.2-liter FSI V8 ensures you will have a reliable power plant to bank on and gets the job done. The Vortec 8100 8.1-liter V8 engine was the last large block sold by Chevrolet from 2001 to 2009. This 496 cubic inch engine produced up to 340 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque, making it powerful enough for heavy-duty work. Equipped with a cast iron block and heads and an overhead valve design, using 2 valves per cylinder, it reached peak torque at 3,200 RPM. It was used in vehicles like the Chevrolet Avalanche 2500, Express 2500 and 3500, Kodiaq and Silverado, as well as some boats and Class A motorhomes. This engine is trustworthy, often lasting up to 250,000 miles with proper treatment. However, it can use a lot of fuel, which is something to consider for daily driving. The LS series of V8 engines from General Motors began with the LS1, a 5.7-liter V8 producing 345 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. What makes LS engines so tough? Their aluminum block. Aluminum is stiff but very light, allowing the engine to withstand significant pressure without the added weight of iron. Some LS engines feature cast iron blocks, yet they remain lighter than most competing engines. The power of the LS engine also allows for the use of a larger camshaft, and its robustness ensures that engine tuning can easily achieve optimum performance. These motors are incredibly robust, with some running 250,000 to 300,000 miles without excessive wear and tear. Launched in 2011, the Ford Coyote V8 engine evolved from the 4.6-liter modular V8 introduced in 1991 to what it is today. The Coyote's block was stiffened without adding extra weight. However, the biggest gains were in the heads, featuring dual overhead cams, and the advanced twin independent variable cam timing, or TIVCT. This system allows precise control of valve timing, enhancing both power and efficiency. Though some contend that newer engines do not perform as well as older engines. One Ford truck enthusiast interviewed a person who bought a Coyote engine 2012 F-150 at 326,000 miles. The truck was running perfectly, with nothing yet having gone wrong with the engine. Mercedes-Benz vehicles are often seen as being built with high-priced parts and complexity, which can lead to reliability problems. Nevertheless, they are also known for producing cars with extremely high durability and lifetime. Mercedes is so proud of this durability that they created a high-mileage award in the 1960s for owners who went above and beyond with their cars. The current top earner is a Greek ride-hailing taxi driver who drove his old 240D for more than 2.8 million miles. Although the 240D is not a V8, it still showcases the brand's reliability. Recently, a 2003 Mercedes-Benz E55 AMG featuring 401,000 miles was featured on Legit Street Cars. The car had been owned by one person and maintained meticulously. Its 32-valve supercharged M113K V8 engine, producing 469 horsepower, remained in excellent condition, proving that with proper care, these cars can last a long time. Despite expensive repairs, the engine stayed original and ran smoothly. In the 1990s, Chevrolet modified its V8 engines to increase efficiency, decrease emissions, and modernize technology. While their engines had been fuel injected since the 80s, they still used a throttle body fuel injection system, which was less efficient than the newer port fuel injection, offering 340 horsepower and a strong 455 pound-feet of torque from an 8.1-liter displacement. The Vortec engine is a longevity beast. The drive reported a 2001 Chevy Silverado 3500 that has been in service for more than 20 years. Despite appearing weathered, the truck, powered by an 8.1-liter Vortec with a manual transaxle, can tow up to 35,000 pounds with no problem. The owner, who runs a salvage yard, describes it as operating very smoothly, even at higher than highway speed, cruising, which is 70 miles per hour with trailer loads. Long before the muscle car era that gave rise to the widely recognized Hemi Charger, Challenger, and Super Bee, Chrysler developed its first Hemi engine. These engines became popular in the 1960s, powering some of the fastest street cars and race cars. However, production of the Hemi declined by the 1970s and eventually came to a halt. In 2003, Chrysler revived the Hemi with a new generation of powerful engines, bringing back its legacy of high performance. Although the new Hemi V8 engines attracted customers in Challengers and Chargers, they were also offered in Dodge Ram trucks. Jubal Caldwell, a Texas businessman, purchased a Ram 1500, equipped with a 5.7-liter Hemi engine in 2004. He needed a reliable truck for his work, and it didn't disappoint. After nearly 10 years and over 500,000 miles, the truck only required a valve repair at 115,000 miles and a transmission rebuild at 486,000 miles, with no major issues along the way. Many people imagine BMWs as fussy, expensive, and difficult to repair luxury cars. Although it may be partly true, inadequate maintenance is frequently the direct cause of a car's lack of reliability, and any car will last longer when properly maintained. In fact, you could be shocked to learn about a BMW M5 that has covered more than 500,000 miles. The E39 BMW M5 was equipped with a 5.0-liter V8 engine with 400 horsepower. The S62 V8 engine was designed with advanced technology to offer both power and refinement. Furthermore, a 2002 BMW M5 with 542,500 miles was featured on YouTube in 2022. Still in great shape despite its excessive mileage. The original engine has never been rebuilt or had any repairs done, such as the timing chain and guides. Actually, it continues to show that in good condition, these engines can be quite robust. In 1983, Toyota began developing a large-size saloon as an alternative to topping European cars. The company committed $1 billion to the project, with the 4.0-liter V8 being a central focus. Involving nearly 4,000 people in its development and 900 prototypes conceived and constructed before production began. The Lexus LS400 featuring this engine became a benchmark for quality and reliability in the luxury market. While the design was simple, the driving experience was exceptional. Matt Farah's 1996 LS400, which had 897,000 miles when he purchased it in 2014, eclipsed 1 million miles in 2019. Remarkably, the engine had never been rebuilt. In 1991, the Lincoln Continental Rono introduced an 8-cylinder V8 engine, marking a significant shift in the development of V8s for the American market. It generated 190 horsepower, an increase of 40 horsepower over its predecessor, though still relatively low by modern standards. The modular V8 engine spread across Ford's lineup and became the standard V8 in cars and trucks by the early 2000s. The 4.6-liter version powered Mustangs, Crown Victorias, and F-150s, while a 5.4-liter was offered for trucks. Many modular V8-powered Ford vehicles have seen high mileage. A 2013 video by Schaefer Oil showcased the teardown of a 5.4-liter modular V8 from a security patrol van and had surpassed 1 million miles. Despite its high mileage, engine components were all ready to perform thanks to good maintenance. Such longevity is a tribute to the robust engineering by Ford and diligent maintenance. Toyota made a major impact with its first mass-produced V8 engine in the 1989 Lexus LS400. To expand into the full-size truck market in North America, Toyota needed an engine built for torque. This led to the development of the 2UZ FE in 1998. The 2UZ FE retained most 1UZ characteristics, but featured a larger displacement and a 4.7-liter cast iron block. A few years ago, Toyota returned a Tundra with 1 million miles on it. After a thorough inspection and a dynamometer test, the engine's performance was found to be comparable to a brand new engine. Toyota's results were astounding, with the engine receiving a quality test score of 99 out of 100. The introduction of the 6.6-liter Duramax turbo diesel V8 by General Motors came at a time when the company faced strong competition from Dodge's Cummins diesel and Ford's Power Stroke engines. To compete, GMC sought a beefier power plant, leading to the creation of the Duramax engine. Small in size and equipped with a powerful injection system, the Duramax quickly became the strongest diesel engine in its class, upon launch securing GM's position in the truck segment. One of its most impressive examples of reliability is a 2006 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD engine with a Duramax V8. This truck was used for hauling long distances in the southern parts of Canada and the US. And with routine engine maintenance and oil changes, owners tracked 1.2 million miles without major problems. For nearly 40 years, Ford's 302 Windsor V8 engine powered countless cars and trucks. While some parts were updated over time, the engine block remained mostly unchanged. This engine was a dominant design element in millions of Fords until 1977, after which it was replaced in favor of the powerful 5.0 V8. The 5.0 V8 revitalized the Mustang in the 1980s, improving on the slower Mustang II. Initial performance improvements were modest, but multi-port fuel injection in the 5.0 HO models gave Ford an edge. This engine became popular in vehicles like the F-150 LTD Crown Victoria and Lincoln cars. Sometime at least 15 years ago, CNN interviewed and reported on a man in Topeka, Kansas, who drove a 1983 Lincoln Town Car with a 5.0 Windsor engine that had amassed 1.3 million miles. Since 1994, Ford's Power Stroke diesel, built by Navistar, has offered a robust solution for the heavy-duty jobs market. The engine used direct injection, replacing older engines by increasing power and decreasing emissions. Initially, it had a 7.3-liter displacement, reduced to 6.0 liters in 2003, and then boosted up to 6.7 liters in 2011, which is still maintained and used today. Though updates like diesel's particulate filters were added, the core design hasn't changed much. Power Stroke engines are famous for their durability, often lasting hundreds of thousands or even 1 million miles. A 2000 Super Duty equipped with a 7.3-liter engine and transmission, shown in a YouTube video, clocked over 1.3 million miles on the original engine and transmission. Similarly, the 2013 F350 6.7-liter engine, featured in a YouTube video, also reached 1.3 million miles after only 8 years. The Chevrolet small block V8 engine, initially introduced in 1955, became one of the most iconic engines in the automotive world. Starting with a 265 cubic inch displacement, millions of cars and trucks ran on it for 40 years, remaining nearly untouched until roughly the mid-1990s. What made this engine special was its simplicity and affordability. It was lightweight, yet tough and easy to repair because it used fewer parts. The engine evolved over the years into several different sizes, from 265 to 400 cubic inches. As a reliable engine and far from being expensive, it was a must for racers and motoring enthusiasts. A notable demonstration of the small block's robustness is seen with a 1991 Chevrolet Silverado in Catawba, Wisconsin. By 2008, the truck had hit 1 million miles. The owner kept up with regular maintenance, replacing parts like the transmission and water pump. But the original engine never had to be opened up. By 2012, the truck had traveled more than 1.2 million miles. Do you know of any other trustworthy V8 engines not mentioned in this video? Please let us know in the comments. And while you're at it, hit the like and subscribe buttons and check out our other videos.